Hey guys, it's Katie Lovebomb from LiveVibeLife.com with another video for you. So you guys had suggestions about what you wanted me to talk about. I wrote them all down. They're all folded in here. I didn't want to pre-plan anything, so I'm just going to reach in and grab one. And that is what we will discuss today. So today's topic is validation, which is pretty loaded in my experience. I know in my life there was a time that validation was so crucial to me surviving. And I had no idea. I had no idea that's what I was searching for. That's what I needed. That's what would heal me. I had absolutely no idea. But the determination I had to get to the other side of a dark spot was what kept me going and actually arrived me at the point of receiving validation, which was so healing and has put me on this incredible future and journey that I've been on. So a lot of you know that I have chronic illness. I have faced at certain times when it had become very serious and I had to have organs removed to save my life. I also lost someone to suicide, which I had a hard time battling with what responsibility, regret, guilt, and stuff goes along with that. But through it all, I think everyone who supported me, I have an amazing support team. I have an amazing family, amazing friends. But I think what happens a lot of times is our friends and family aren't being mean or negative in the way that they react, but they don't know how to react. And it's the same way before all of us got chronically ill. We probably didn't know either. I mean, I was 12. It was 23 years ago for me. So I was very young. But you can't get angry at other people for not understanding if they haven't experienced it. But I know that what I heard a lot from people was, you're so strong, you just have to be positive, wake up, be happy, you have to choose happiness. Katie, you got this, you're a warrior. You're strong. The world needs you. We need you. We need you. And no one ever stopped and said, I know how hard this is for you. Like, I can't imagine living this. I can't imagine the pain that you feel. People would turn it into a joke or say, just silly things or change subject or redirect. And all of those times leaves you just empty and hurt because you open up and you put that out there that that's what you need. Even subconsciously, that's what you need. And people are so afraid of what you're going through that they react in different ways that makes you shut down and kind of show up and think, maybe I'm not supposed to share about this. Other people can't handle it. And me being a people pleaser, I didn't want to upset or put anyone in a situation that they couldn't handle. A huge part of it for me was wanting to please everyone, wanting to please my parents, wanting to please everyone around me and not let anyone hurt. I didn't want to cause anyone any pain because I knew how much pain I was caused by a medical mistake is what gave me my illnesses. And I knew how those choices affected me and how they hurt me so long, and I promised myself I will never hurt someone else. Our choices and by honoring our heart in life, we might end up disappointing people or upsetting people, but not in ways that are intentional ways to hurt, which I felt like I was doing. This had built up so much that I was seeing a therapist, and I was going to therapy to get over the suicide and stuff and try to get help. And it was amazing that led me there because I realized how much I was diagnosed with PTSD for the chronic illness and stuff, and how much more I had to work through and uncover and dig through. And luckily, because I do have the family I have, I was able to reach out to my parents and ask them to come to a session with me. I kind of just hear it out because I think my guess would be, if you have a child with chronic illness, a lot of times you also have guilt and regret and you hold on to these feelings. So I wanted them to know that I've never blamed them and that I don't hold them in any way accountable. But what I was experiencing is real. So the feelings are real whether or not they understand them. What we're feeling, people don't have to get, but they have to accept. So my parents came with me to this session and kind of sat through it. It was hard. It was challenging. It was hard to really say what I was thinking and feeling and let go of the protection I had from my parents to kind of just say, this is how I feel, and no, you can't tell me I'm wrong, or you can't tell me I can't feel this way. This is how I'm feeling. And at the end of the session, my dad, who isn't super emotional, spoke up and got very emotional and teary-eyed and said that he was always worried I was going to quit. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that my parents ever even thought that those were concepts that were going to my head. And that day in Boston, someone had run in front of a bus and taken their life, and was late to a meeting at my dad's work because of the traffic from it. And my dad said that for a brief second he thought, what if that's Katie? Because they described the person as being a small woman who was blonde. And my heart was crushed to know that my parents have to carry that burden of not knowing if I'm okay, if I'm going to give up from the pain, or from having no medical team being able to support me, or having a world that my diseases aren't the buzzword and don't create the support and love that other diseases do. And he opened up and he shared that he couldn't imagine living with what I live with, and he couldn't imagine having to accept it at the age that I did, and having to live so long before there was community or places to reach out, or the internet, or answers, or education. And I mean, people with my diseases now think there's no education and that there's nothing, and there is. It's come a million billion miles from where it was in 92 when I got sick. And my dad just saying that he would have given up, that he would not have wanted to do with it, and that he doesn't think that he's strong enough to do it, but he knows that I am, and that he knows that the world needs my smiling face every single day, and that the sun rises and sets because I'm part of this environment and community and society. And hearing my dad say that what you're going through is hard and challenging and scary set me free. Like, I felt like 1,000,000 pounds were lifted. I just remember looking at him and saying, I didn't know that you knew this was hard. I thought you just wanted me to be strong all the time. And he explained to me that he didn't know what to say, and he was so afraid that if he let me fall apart, or he let me cry, or he let me express that I didn't want to go on, that I would be stuck there, that I would stay down in those pits. And it was in this moment with my parents and my therapist that I committed to always finding a positive, no matter how hard it is to find a positive in something, because I needed to commit to them and tell them that that was never something that would happen for me. That I will, if I fall into these dips, if I fall and have a hard day and want to cry and want to, sit by the bedside and just lose my shit, that I will do that, but then I'll also say, what do I have to be grateful for today? And I will get out of it. But I'm not going to hide the emotions. I'm not going to deny the emotions, but I'm going to honor them, and then I'm going to grow from them. It was just that moment of being validated, that moment of saying, I understand you live in a struggle, and I know how hard it is, and I'm here for you. I don't think anyone understands how truly valuable hearing I understand, or if you don't understand, I'm here for you, or I love you means. I mean, it's that moment shifted my entire relationship, and I was already beyond close with my parents, and it shifted everything, and I have committed every single moment of my life to being the best since that, because I knew now that we were all living in fear. I was living in fear of hurting them and being honest with them, and they were living in fear of giving me the, giving me the confirmation that it is a really shitty life and a shitty hand to be dealt, and it is challenging. And instead we all came together and just validated each other's feelings and experiences, and now we all have each other, and we have a community, and we grow, and we speak, and we communicate, and it is the greatest gift I've ever had. So for me, being validated is huge, and with my friends or family or anyone I ask for it, if I say, can you please tell me this if you feel it. Not if you don't feel it. If it's not honest, please do not say it back to me. But right now, I might need this. If you could just let me know. So if there's anyone going through something, maybe reach out to them, because it could save a life and change their entire world. Thank you guys for listening to Validation. LiveVibeLife.com with Katie Lovebomb. Love you.